Good morning, it's 9 a.m. Friday. Thanks, I'm James. Let's take a live look now outside. In tourism destroying city, residents of some of the most beautiful cities around the world have been protesting against tourism, and there have been anti-tourist violence in places like Japan and Italy. The term tourism has been growing the last 10 years or so to describe the growing number of tourists, inflicting damage to city, landmarks, and landscape around the world. Here are some specific cases of overtravel. In Japan, Japan blocks mountain Fuji viewpoint to limit tourists to surge consumption caused by tourists. Japan authorities control a barrier as a popular site on Mountain Fuji. The barriers, which measure 20 meters and by 2.5 meters, blocks the view of the mountains from above a convenience store. In Venice, Italy, along with the flocks of tourists, people in Venice, Italy have been lobbying for a groceries ban for quite some time now. Last groceries weighing more than 25,000 tons were prohibited from entering the Giudica canals in Venice. In slide you can see the chart. The chart indicates a Norway generation. Over tourism has resulted in the first demonstrating the enormous challenge in managing global garbage that harm the environment.
To understand why overtourism has become an urgent problem today, we need to look at its main cause, what has made tourism grow so much and caused many places to be too crowded. I think the main cause of overtourism is current tourism development model. We focus too much on making profit and not on enough on long-term effects on the environment and local people. More tourism business try to get as many visitors as possible instead of thinking about how good their experiences are. Strong competition between companies to get customers had led to too much use of popular tourist spots. To attract tourists, companies often lower ticket price, making places that were once special easy to reach for millions of people. Low-cost airline and cheap place to stay, along with online booking platform, have brought many tourists to specific For areas. Example, cities like Venice and Barcelona, which used to be well-bred specific, cultural center are no crowd with big group of people looking for cheap travel options. This increase in visitor had put more pressure on local resources and infrastructure.
Now we talk about the effect of our tourism. Our tourism is not simply a matter of customer numbers, but it is also a major challenge to the health of destination. The environment is one of the first victims when tourism developed massively, lacked widespread on beach, polluted the water, and destroyed coral reefs are familiar images at many famous tourist destinations. For example, in Thailand, a beach has been closed to protect their coral reefs from tourists. Not only were the environment devastated, but the lives of a local people were also turned upside down. They fight the loss of traditional living space, rising cost of living, and the intrusion of noisy, disruptive tourism activity. For example, in the village of Pennyvercover, one of the many attracting tourists in Spanish, despite say asking to respect the privacy of residents and to be quiet. Many tourists still climb on the wall and roof, invent open the door to go inside and to see how people there live. In particular, ethnic minority communities are often the hardest hit when their traditional culture is commercially and assimilated. Although it provides short-term economic benefits, over-tourism is not sustainable in the long term. When the environment is destroyed and culture is eroded, tourists will no longer have reason to return, leading to local economic decline. So, what can we do to minimize the situation? that we will cover in the solution session.
To solve the problem over tourism, many solutions has been proposed, each with its own pros and cons. Limiting the number of tourists at famous destinations can have reduced pressure on the environment and infrastructure. For example, Venice, Italy has introduced an entrance fee for day visitors and banned La cruise ship from Grand Canal to lessen the impact on cultural heritage. However, this solution may fail opposite from the tourism industry because it can reduce visitor number and affect revenue. In traditional to this solution, I believe developing community tourism is a promising direction. By encouraging tourists to join local activity, we can help research traditional culture and create sustainable income for local people. This approach also spread tourists to less famous places, reducing pressure on popular spots. However, it requires investment in training, infrastructure, and promotion of community tourism. In my opinion, an effective and sustainable solution should combine both approaches and focus on raising tourist awareness, of protecting the environment and culture, but it takes time and cost to see the results. To achieve this goal, the commitment from the government, business, community, and tourists is extremely correctly. The solution not only protect resources and culture, but also create sustainable tourism, helping the community develop without compromising the environment or valuable heritage, providing long-term benefit for all stakeholders.
Although there are a lot of solutions have been proposed to mitigate the issue of over-tourism, the nature of the problem is far more complex. Not everyone have the same perspective on over-tourism. To fully understand the different aspects of over-tourism, we must consider various viewpoints. The perspective not only reflect the underlying causes, but also highlight the multidimensional way in the view of over-tourism issue. First, some people believe that it's a corollary of integration and globalization. Tourism development cannot be separate from the trend of globalization, with declining airfares, rising average incomes, and the rapid spread of social media. International travel has become a common privilege for everyone, no longer restricted to the upper class as it once was. Making travel accessible to the masses can be seen as a human achievement, as it promotes cultural understanding and harmony. Therefore, placing the blame entirely on the current tourism system for the negative impacts of over-tourism may be not entirely fair. So, where does the problem lie? It can be said that the core issue is not tourism itself, but the lack of suitable sustainable management tools. Many local governments still chase a short-term economic profit gains from tourism while failing to invest adequately in infrastructure or regulation to accommodate the growing number of visitors. Rather than viewing the over-tourism as a drawback, we should see it as a signal that global tourism policy needs to adjust. Under the negative impacts of over-tourism on culture and the environment, culture and management are only one side of the issue. Another crucial factor is the behavior and attitude of the tourists themselves. If we don't change the awareness of visitors, our effort cannot bring durable results. Only when the mindset around tourism shifts, we can make a truly lasting impact on this shifting the mindset from travel for enjoyment to travel for integration and preservation could be the key to reducing the effects of overtourism. It's a challenging journey, but not an impossible one. When the sense of responsibility for the environment and culture becomes a criterion for evaluating the travel experience, we may witness sustainable trends in this industry.
Over tourism, the more harm to culture and the environment than economic benefits. When the environmental and cultural damage of over-tourism seem to outweigh the economic benefits, it leads to a crisis that makes losses irreparable. Consider the cases of popular cities like Venice, Barcelona, and Bali. The cities not only suffer from the heavy impact of over-tourism, but also face long-term consequences for residents and the environment. Firstly, the impact on local people. Over-tourism causes gentrification when housing prices and the low cost of living increase. Locals are forced to leave their home because they can no longer afford it. And secondly, is over tourism affect the cultural strength of a place as it adapts to serve tourists, thereby reducing its original cultural significance. Festival, custom, and lifestyle can become commercialized. And the next is over tourism pressure on the environment. Beaches or littered with trash, historical structure are damaged, and the natural ecosystem are disturbed. This is not only directly affects on local culture, but it also a major environment risk. And the last is the negative impact on tourist experience. When a place attracts too many tourists, the tourist experience there become less enjoyable. Overcrowded historical sites and attraction, unjust environment, and the lack of respect for local culture can discourage visitors from returning. Over tourism is a warning about the importance of sustainable tourism. Over tourism is not only a matter of changing tourist perception, but also a warning that tourism development needs to be managed sustainably globally. So, how can tourism develop in harmony with the environment and culture without causing long-term degradation? Government of the nation should recognize the problem of over-tourism and adopt remote sustainable tourism model, and they need to invest in infrastructure and management system. Besides that, they need to increasing local community participation in tourism activities and focusing on resource conservation. In short, our tourism is a complex issue with many opposing sides between benefit and loss. It is not simply a negative outcome, but a reflection of a lack of management and a sense of responsibility from both visitor and stakeholder. To minimize the impact of our tourism, we need to rethink our approach to tourism. I mean, for sustainability, rather than just focusing on growing number, touch not only the tourism industry, but also the community and the environment can benefit in a balanced and long-term way.